And trust me when I say this, it is super strange.
Yeah, especially noticeable, it does kind of remind me of something related to Metal Sonic, except the fact that, well, to be speaking, it's just all 6 of us instead of just 1.
Yeah, I know, right? Especially noticeable, I get the strong sense of feeling because of the Halloween event, which, speaking of Halloween though, is the fact that I think we only got tomorrow actually, before Halloween is about to begin, so either way though, yeah, let's just go ahead and land on this obscure chance time space, so just in case we can able to, well first of all, let me just go ahead and buy a triple dice right here.
And on top of all that stuff though, we still got ourselves our skeleton key with us, so maybe potentially this might be our opportunity so that way we can able to meet up with King Boo again.
But except this time we're able to have a different option, so in this case, oh nice.
Yep, and we'll steal a star from Luigi, so because of this though, we're now on 6 stars.
Yeah, 6 stars is insane.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure they pretty much learned the forms of the timing aspect when it comes to likely selecting your icon in the actual chance time event.
So either way though, that's why I've essentially learned it from. So in this case though, there's not much right to home about. So yeah, today's date is of course the 30th of October today, in this case in 2022 today. And like we said before, until tomorrow, that Halloween is about to start. And exponentially speaking, until also during the Informs event tomorrow as well, we could probably play some video games based off from Halloween.
I was thinking about that too.
Like, for instance, we can able to play Luigi's Mansion 1, 2, or 3. I think personally, I think 3 was actually a lot more popular right now due to the forms of online play with all the scare scraper mode and stuff like that. Even though despite the fact that I still haven't exactly completed the actual main story mode in Luigi's Mansion 3, just because I'm still stuck on the Egypt floor because of the forms of that ridiculous weighing puzzles and stuff like that. So, but hopefully I'll get around to this, so don't worry. Especially noticeable until probably in 2024, then we can probably do a let's play of that. Well, exponentially. We have no idea just yet, but that's only mainly because well, we're still on 2022 after all, so.
Anyways, Pushy Penguins time, so let's see if we can able to actually just shove off those penguins out of the way, even though that both Wario and Waluigi did somehow manage to able to get in 4th, 3rd, and then Luigi was in 2nd, so we somehow managed to win regardless still, so.
Yeah, I guess that probably explains it, huh?
So anywho, actually couldn't think about it, where's the next star at?
I think we almost nearly at the star actually, so we can potentially try to able to get ourselves our triple dice activated, and oh, that's not great, but we got 4, 7, 7, ooh, 18. Will that be enough until whenever we meet up with King Boo exponentially?
We shall see.
Even though, first off, let me just go ahead and skip all this little, mini events, like for instance with all that mana and also the Koopa Bank that we still have to force to pay 3 coins, and we can able to get our star. So I think we actually got enough coins so we can able to actually just select steal a star option from King Boo.
Oh yeah, that'll be a devastating move right there.
So now the next star space is now moved down there, so I think that's what this is going. I think someone is actually getting pretty close towards it. So in this case though, let's just go ahead and unlock this. And do we get enough space movement? Oh, but at least we'll take the event space, but oh well, no big deal.
Unless there's someone else may able to actually land on the happening space, so.
Yeah, let's just see what really happens here. Oh, Waluigi did manage to able to use the Chomp Call again, because it seems very obvious that someone is actually getting very closer to the star, so.
Yeah, and somehow it's moved all the way back up there again.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, kind of think about it.
Anywho though, as far as I'm aware, also I'd like to mention for the sake of time, that exponentially, alongside with Mario Party 1 and Mario Party 2 are coming onto the NSO expansion pack, also, there's gonna be some N64 icons into your, Nintendo Switch Online customizable profile image. So, it seems pretty cool though.
Even though it's won't gonna happen until at some point on Wednesday, which, speaking of Wednesday, around the same day actually, that the next tour should be up for Mario Kart Tour, which appears to be the Autumn Tour. In this case, the finale of the Autumn Challenges, or the Autumn Tour trilogy of any sort, because obviously we've been through the Battle Tour and the Halloween Tour. Well, despite the fact that we haven't exactly completely done with Halloween Tour yet, but relatively speaking though, we're actually getting very close towards the end of that particular tour, which I will say, well, despite the fact that, relatively speaking though, that we're still able to actually access the Gold Pass, but regardless of anything else though, I think it's actually gone a little bit better than I expected, especially noticeable because despite bad controls are still applied, and on top of all that stuff though, Jesus Louise, 200cc I feel like is a bit too much for my taste, because otherwise though, we keep on getting owned by, you know, too many items, and also I have a lot of issues with battle mode, like we said this countless amount of times already, but I don't feel like trying to mention about that ever again, just because, well, we're just going to have to move on to a different conversation, for instance, so in this case though, now we are on turn number 18, so let's see how anything else able to turn out to be. Even though sadly though, we can't able to meet up with King Boo just because we accidentally landed on the event space. But that's okay, because either way though, hopefully we'll get ourselves another triple dice set until we're able to actually meet up with, well, King Boo again. But either way though, we'll have to wait and see what happens there. So either way though, it's just about the fact that, well, we wasn't really expecting about the fact that these are players doesn't seem able to land on that much event spaces, I don't think, so... Alright, so looks like Luigi just somehow brought himself a custom dice block, so... And I think he's probably gonna go after the next door, actually. Although, keep this in mind, is the fact that, relatively speaking, Wario just got himself the trump call, so he might potentially try to able to use that until when he decides to able to take his go, so that might be seems the case. Yep, I was right all along, so I wonder what the next dice space is gonna be placed this time. Oh yeah, something's worth mentioning for the sake of time, Pinkie Pie, is the fact that, oh wait a second. Did we somehow skip it? Or do we somehow... Oh, jeez! We literally behind it! Hey, that's a bit of a nuisance though, but hey, at least it's something in mind, even though unlike in the previous Mario Party games, ranging from Mario Party 1 all the way up to, I would say, Mario Party 8, that relatively speaking though, and same applies to DS as well, that I think relatively speaking is the fact that I don't think that the star space is going to be located exactly where you are. Well, I have no idea why we managed able to point things out, just because, well, it's been quite a few days, but either way though, oh, looks like we have ourselves another new minigame we can play, and this one appears to be Night Light Fright. And this is obviously based off from Mario Party 5, and basically in this one right here is the fact that all we have to do in this minigame here is the fact that we need to let the chain chomp get close to you while you're able to actually interact with your flashlight. And because of that though, yeah, it's all about no matter what the distance you have to put up with, so... But at the very least though, the visuals look a lot more nicer this time around, as opposed to the ones in, a little bit brighter than the phones about it does it on, well, in the top 100 version though. Oh, dang, looks like that us and Waluigi are almost kind of close to each other when it comes to that particular distance in mind. Yeah, I was wondering about that, but either way though, that's usually as far as the, you know, anything else we'd like to mention about that specific minigame as far as this is concerned. Alright, so now we have nighttime been triggered, so in this case, another 10! Seriously, we're about to get a Sightseer star if that comes into play or not, so either way though, we'll just have to wait and see what happens, so yeah, let's go ahead and buy the triple dice set. So just in case we can able to advance our movements and stuff like that before we catch up on several other spaces in mind, and I think hopefully we'll try to get ourselves our skeleton key eventually, but either way though, we'll just have to wait and find out, so... And it looks like Waluigi's also gonna go for a triple dice set, so... I guess that probably figures that much, so... Oh yeah, remember about the fact that we technically mentioned this earlier, ever since in yesterday, about the fact that when it comes to Kingdom Hearts 4, when it comes out on the PlayStation 5, I think we probably get the idea of what we decided able to go for when it comes to later years and beyond. Well, exponentially if Kingdom Hearts 4 gets its release date, at some point maybe, just maybe on 2027, or 2025, or 2026, or something like that, we could probably get ourselves the PlayStation 5 in a spare room, nonetheless.
Oh, what makes you say that then, huh?
Well, that's only mainly because, well, usually relatively speaking, we can't afford able to get ourselves the 4K Ultra HD TV into our room, but we can able to get ourselves one of them on the spare room, so that, just in case of not only that, but unfortunately though, we run out of room for our, you know, console cabinets and stuff like that, because I think 12, or to be more specifically, quite a few of them are actually, well, kind of enough actually, so in this case though, there's not much right to home about when it comes to like mentioning specific stuff, so...
Alright, so let's have some fun on, well, Rapid River Race again, except this time that we're actually getting pretty alright, except the fact that sometimes that, you know, quick movements can be felt a bit tricky to navigate, and also we just gotta bump into that particular urchin, so...
Oh well, no new record for the sake of time again, that's only mainly because sometimes it's pretty tricky to able to actually practice the movement sometimes in this minigame sometimes, but... Either way though, still fun regardless, you know? Which I'm still very glad that this minigame did manage to make a comeback in this game, so well that minigame finally makes it brought back in this game, despite the visuals look very identical to the likes of the regular Mario Party 10 version, although the noticeable difference being is the fact that while it's obviously much more advanced for its visual department, so in this case though, with all that virtual colors, and as well as the forms of, well, anything else really, so... And I have no idea why I'm so obsessed with all that, triple dice and stuff like that, but that's only mainly because, well, I just love using the triple dice, and I'm very glad that this item finally makes its, return after the events of Mario Party DS, because mind you, in new forms within, well, Mario Party 9 doesn't have one, and, I believe Island Tour doesn't have it, and also Mario Party 10 doesn't have a triple dice, but at the very least it does have... Aw, dang it, we should go the other way.
Although, mind you though, is the fact that we're still in the lead at the moment, so it feels like that every single opponent managed to obviously trying to use too much of those jump calls, which as far as I'm aware, that might be seems a little bit... Oh, lucky Waluigi to somehow manage to got the hidden block again.
Although, except this time, he only got coins instead of that particular star, ever since in Woody Woods, so... And speaking of which though, Luigi got himself a bank space, so in this case though, he gets 24 coins.
That seems very lucky on his part.
And it looks like Wario's also going to be using his triple dice here. And he goes himself 5, 7, and 9. So in this case, the odd numbers, so...
Yeah, the only missing exception has been, you know, 1 and 3, but, that might be seems, a little bit more observational or something, so...
I get a strong sense of feeling that Wario is gonna buy, not only, the triple dice, but also the custom dice block as well, and he was almost very close to the star, and I get the feeling that once again, I think someone else is gonna use the jump call yet again. But this time, I get the feeling that Luigi might able to actually potentially try to use that, so...
I was thinking about the same thing.
Oh, come on, sneak and snore. But I did manage to practice this game on my own time, And I do found out the actual strategy for this minigame is the fact that I obviously have to pay attention to not only with my character controlling, but also pay attention to the forms of the bubble extends or extend out. Like, for instance, if it gets bigger, then obviously you got able to rely on the timing thing. Like, if it starts, if you think it's about able to pop, then you have to stand completely still. Like, sometimes it's a bit random, but regardless of such though, that might be something worth knowing for when it comes to the aspect of this particular minigame sometimes, so... Hooray, we finally win this minigame!
About time that we finally managed able to get this right.
Although, relatively speaking though, is the fact that Warrior was left behind, and I get the feeling that the other players somehow didn't get caught once, so I'm very impressed about that.
Yeah, especially noticeable that unlike the original version of that minigame, where basically there's only one winner player, whoever's managed able to get out of there, so...
Yeah, I guess that probably explains it, so... Alright, so it's time to use once again, the triple dice, so we can able to get ourselves, 5 is okay, 4 is meh, and 3, a bit average I guess, but either way though, we'll scout able to accept it with that dice roll in mind. So, and I think we'll go ahead and land ourselves the lucky space, so just in case we can able to get something very rewarding, and thus we can able to actually buy the skeleton key and what have you, so, and hopefully we'll able to meet up with King Boo until the next couple of turns later, so hopefully we'll make our chance that we can able to steal not 1, but 3 stars, and because we actually got enough coins to begin with, so that also means is the fact that we can potentially try to go ahead and, well, try to deal with that, so...
And meanwhile, for Waluigi gets 2, 2, 5, makes 9. So, a bit of a lame number, I might add. But, regardless of such though...
Yeah, looks like he buys another triple dice again, so... And he's probably gonna go for the item space, and what item is he gonna get? Nothing.
I'm guessing it's probably because of one of those mini games can be tricky to pull off, like Winner's Wheel, or you know, with all that swinging with sharks, or popping balloons. That sometimes though it's not as easy to be able to get. We somehow skipped it again.
Oh jeez, I just realized, yeah, we just completely skipped that star space again. Oh jeez, what is up with star location sometimes?
Although, to be fair though, that we're still in the lead, you know, so I guess that makes it pretty obvious for the sake of likely they somehow placed it right behind us.
So, either way though, looks like Warrior just using himself the triple dice again. 8, 3, 3 makes 14. So, bit of an average dice roll here, so I guess that probably explains it, so... And this time he's gonna be buying the double dice this time, so... And he was literally so close to able to actually land on that particular event space right here, so that way we can able to get our opportunity. Oh wait, that might not likely, just because until the next turn it will start to show up the moon and the clouds, so that means it's almost approaching to daytime syndrome or something like this, so...
Oh yeah, there's only one space we honestly forgot to mention about, and that's what appears to be the green space, just a simple green space.
And this functions kinda like the same way as the forms of how it does it in Mario Party 9, Mario Party 10, and as well as the forms of Super Mario Party, I might add. Although, the only noticeable difference is this time, that unlike in Mario Party 9 and 10, where basically though it just does absolutely nothing if you manage to land on these green spaces, well technically speaking, in Card Party mode from the likes of in Mario... Oh, I obviously have no idea why I just did that, but either way though, that's fine, because either way though, I just don't want to let someone else win that particular minigame for us, mainly Wario and Luigi right here, because I just get a strong sense of feeling that if Luigi somehow wins that minigame, if he meets up with King Boo, he will get his opportunity to able to not only stealing 1 star, but 3 stars, so that's a good thing we somehow managed to lose that minigame anyway, so...
Good thinking though, Pac-Man. Good thinking right there.
Yeah, I was wondering about that, so... Alright, so let's go for roll out for barrels again, and let's go ahead and aim for, of course, the triple dice, so... Honestly, I think, roll out for barrels is actually overall pretty easy as far as the minigame is concerned, or the item minigame, as far as I would like to point things out, because, you know, it requires a lot of concentration, you know?
Yeah, I was thinking about that, you know?
Alright, so let's see what Waluigi's gonna do here. He's gonna use his triple dice again, even though that he doesn't got himself the skeleton key. But regardless, he got himself, I would say, I wasn't paying attention because I somehow got distracted by, you know, certain strategies I might add. But either way though, that's saying much. And speaking of the devil, he lands on the Bowser space, so I don't know what's gonna happen to him anyway though.
Could be something a little bit more punishing?
Speaking of punishment, he lost 1 star. And Bowser gets a star, which it kind of reminds me of the forms of Super Mario Party, where if you play as Bowser, then you could imagine if the announcer will be like, "You got a star?" Or something like that, but it didn't seem to happen, because obviously Bowser was a bad guy after all, so...
Yeah, I guess that makes it pretty obvious. So in this case though, is the fact that, well, relatively speaking, unlike in Super Mario Party, that basically though is the fact that when Bowser receives the star in one of those boards, basically though that the announcer will be like, "You got a star," and stuff like that. So make it a little bit more of a positive attitude more than anything, so...
Which, talking of which though, when it comes to playable Bowser on certain Mario games, mainly for instance in Super Mario Party, alongside with Mario Plus Rapid Sparks of Hope, I will say that's the most interesting aspect when it comes to likely, you know, playing as Bowser for the first time in certain franchises as far as I'm aware. Even though, mind you, that we only play as Bowsers from the likes of certain RPG games in the past, specifically Super Mario RPG, alongside with a hybrid of a platformer with RPG elements, which is of course Super Paper Mario, but regardless of anything else though. Oh, and same applies with Mario Luigi Bowser's Inside Story, for not only on the original DS hardware, but also with, well, specifically, the 3DS remake, which despite most people seem to don't usually buy the 3DS version as much, because obviously because of all that poor sales and all that stuff though, and wow, looks like Waluigi just keeps on missing certain, well, aiming shots when it comes to, like, getting Wario, so... Alright, so it looks like we're now up to 200 coins, which is quite a lot.
Yeah, I know, right?
Alright, so we're now on turn 23, so now we can get ourselves our biggest opportunity of our strategy and stuff like that. We can now able to use the triple dice, and hopefully we're not going to get that low number. So in this case we got 6, 4, and 9. Oh, that's actually top notch. 19, so...
And we still got enough coins so that way we can able to demolish all 3 players into one particular star steal.
So in this case though, let's go ahead and go that way and meet up with King Boo for the second time. So yeah, let's go and steal some stars.
Mind you, there's only 1 star for each player, so in this case though, ultimately though, we'll get like 3 stars in one specific turn.
So there it goes, and now we get up to 10 stars. That's insane.
You got stars.
And obviously, if you manage to able to got either 2 stars, either with the forms of the double card, or if you manage to able to steal 3 stars thanks to King Boo, basically though, the announcer will say, "You got stars," instead of "You got a star." So, it's very similar to the forms of how it does it on Super Mario Party for sure.
Yeah, especially noticeable because, you know, the game's engine runs exactly the same as Super Mario Party, except, you know, no need for Joy-Cons separately, so...
Yeah, which makes things a lot more manageable. So in this case though, we would like to mention about the forms of the Nintendo Switch sales numbers, but I think we should probably save that conversation until maybe one of those extra modes in this game, so...
Yeah, that might be seems a little bit more sense as far as this is concerned.
Okay, so it looks like it's now daytime, so it looks like Wario's gonna try to deal with something right here, so... Seriously? Seriously? Are you aiming for 1, Wario? That seems a bit unnecessary on your ad. Well, I get it because you really want to get those coins so badly from those lucky spaces, which I can possibly understand. And it looks like everyone else got none of those stars at all now, so...
Because thanks to the forms of how the fact that, you know, Waluigi just somehow lost one from that Bowser space from earlier ago,
and now we somehow managed able to get all of those stars from each player, so... Yeah, this is a perfect example of why I think that Horrorland is the best board to end things off, even though that much like the forms of how it does it on Super Mario Party and, all the other Mario Party games, well, let's just say Mario Party 3, or Super Mario Party I might add, that unfortunately though, there's no Bowser themed board anywhere, so, I mean, it would be nice to be able to actually have either Bowser's Make-Me Mountain from Mario Party 1, although it does have some luck-based elements to it, like, you know, with all that, you know, pay 10 coins in order able to accept the dice roll. You can either get the star icon for shortcuts, or Bowser if you decide able to just go the normal pathway. But aside from all that stuff though, and also Bowser Land as well from Mario Party 2, but it does have a lot of elements to it, like the actual Bowser Parade, but unfortunately though, those two boards didn't seem able to make it happen, sadly, so...
Oh well, no big deal, but at the very least though is the fact that Horrorland is the greatest board ever, so that's saying something, so...
Oh, 10, 7, and 5, 22. That seems like a good roll, even though nowhere near is like nearly perfect though, unlike in Woody Woods, that we've almost got a perfect 10s for the actual dice rolls. Like, you know, we got 10, 10, 9 for 29, so as a result though, that might be something worth noting about. Let's double check on the map quickly, so just in case if we... I think we almost at the star, although relatively speaking though, I get the feeling we off by 1 space, so...
Yeah, I suppose we should probably be able to just... Yeah, we'll go in and land on the lucky space, so...
And did someone actually got a trump call? I don't think so.
Yeah, because the only items I do see, thanks to the forms of that white lines for surrounding the items though, because unlike in the E3 trailer, that for some reason they didn't seem able to add it in the actual white outlines for certain items they've shown us, so...
Although, to be fair though, Pinkie Pie, it's actually in development when it comes to likely back in last year for E3, so...
Yeah, I guess it makes a pretty obvious sense, after all, that sometimes you will see some Japanese text, but if you accidentally pause the game, for I've spotted.
Although you're still able to actually see some English text here and there, but someone actually did say it was actually about the fact that this game was still in development during the course of an E3 last year, so... And also, something's worth noting for, with all that, you know, the lucky events and stuff like that, when it comes to item related, that basically though, every single text, or it comes to items, or everything yellow, whilst in the forms of in the E3 version of that particular text situation, that every single text is all full white text box, so...
Well, speaking of the trump call, Luigi just somehow managed able to come across into one, so...
Oh, who's gonna make it to the star first? I think Wario's probably gonna make it there, just because obviously he's gotta use his, the triple dice, even though despite the fact that he got 1, but he still made it regardless, so...
And also on top of all that stuff though is the fact that, well, he got enough coins, so... I guess that's fair, I guess, so...
Yeah, because, well, relatively speaking though, we somehow basically dominated this board, basically, thanks to, not only in terms of those triple dice rolls, but also, say, applies with, let's just say in terms of the forms of, well, King Boo visits, so... So now the star space is now moved back all the way over there, so I don't know who's gonna make it there, but I think Luigi is almost getting close to it, so... Oh yeah, also, something's worth mentioning I totally forgot to mention about for the majority of the game itself, is the fact that much like in Mario Party 3, basically you do have the option that you can able to actually speed things up when it comes to the CPU movements. So just in case you don't able to be a little bit slowish or sluggish when it comes to likely for the entire progressioning for the entire board itself. So I'm very pleased to see the movement speed is actually returning from ever since in Mario Party 3. So that's pretty cool to able to actually just to point things out, especially if you want to make the game faster for you. Basically though, that's a good option for you if you really want able to get the thing going for certain boards throughout. So
yeah, that seems pretty cool, especially noticeable you'd be like, supersonic speed!
well, mind you about the fact that Sonic is still ridiculously fast and speedy, so wow, 26 coins we actually gone through. Well, unlike in Hammer Drop though, that we somehow got ridiculous amount of coins, like 50 coins, which again, because of all that improvement movements, as well as, you know, controls and all that stuff.
Turn 25, and now it's on nighttime, so
Yeah, we're almost nearly at the end in terms of not only Horrorland, but also the entire boards in Mario Party Superstars. So, 7, 4, and 1.
close enough, but hey, at least it's a decent roll.
And yeah, we'll just got able to give 3 coins to Koopa Bank again. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and ignore the King Boo spot for now on, so because I don't think that anyone else is keep on like... Well, I do love the fact that, well, every time whenever it starts to go in nighttime, that basically the entire playground area, as you can see, that it just somehow moves. So yeah, it seems a little bit more of a Harry Potter inspired thing.
Oh, unfortunately though, it's the fact that one of those actors died recently.
Oh, yeah, I think I've heard about that ever since in 16 days ago, which is very unfortunate, especially notable because he was such a good actor, which not only did he did one of those characters based off from Harry Potter films, but also he did the only 2 James Bond films he's ever appeared in, which appears to be both GoldenEye and The World Is Not Enough, so... Yeah, I was wondering about that, because either way though, it's pretty sad able to see that actor passed away from the likes of, well, it's just pretty sad, I'm telling you. It's so sad. So now the next star space should be right over there, almost right near to the Koopa Bank space, so...
And exponentially so far is the fact that we don't have any computer issues, so that seems all good and fun and dandy and everything.
Well, despite it might be still a little bit laggy at points, but apart from those side of things though, it's actually not too shabby, so... And also keep in mind, oh, Wario got 42 coins out of the bank. Lucky greedy man. And something tells me about the fact that we're getting a lot of coins in this board.
Yeah, especially noticeable because, well, it's all depending on bonus coins or bonus games that we actually stumble across into, so...
Alright, Ice Rink Risk. And I think, relatively speaking, this will be the last time seeing bonus minigame like this. Especially noticeable, you get double the amount of coins for the sake of the forms of certain rewards, as far as I'm aware. So let's see how the others are doing. Luigi's out, Warrior is out, so it's just me and Waluigi, or us and Waluigi, so... Need to focus. Oh god! Oh come on! Why did it always shows up as soon as we able to hopefully try to survive? That's a bit tricky though. But fine, we'll take double the amount of coins, and also Waluigi just got 20 coins, so... Alright, last 5 turns for the final time in terms of this game, so... Yeah, it looks like we're on first place, and Wario was in second, Luigi was in third, and Waluigi's in dead last, so...
Yeah, and it's all just a matter of the forms of, well, the final predictions. So in this case, King Boo's decided to show up.
And he's voting Luigi somehow. And he's probably gonna get himself the golden pipe. So this is the only time you get a golden pipe in this board, because you can't get golden pipes on certain shops in this board. So
yeah, just like in Peach's birthday cake, so, and that's about it basically, so...
Oh my, the music is so catchy. Oh. I just felt the sense of like a spooky atmosphere.
Or don't you mean about the fact that you did somehow manage able to went into, Talkman's lair, back in the day?
Oh yeah, to try to rescue my family and stuff like that. Specifically, Pac Jr. alongside with any of my friends, including Miss Pac-Man, which apparently though, I still find it a bit weird that in Repack, they just somehow removed Miss Pac-Man and replaced it as Pac-Mom? Like seriously, that was such a weird decision.
Yeah, I know that.
So it looks like Luigi's gonna use his, you know, the custom dice block, and let's see what... Okay, so he's probably aimed for the 7, so I'm guessing he's gonna land on that blue space right here. And no matter what though, it seems that everyone else is actually ignoring those other two boost stealing spots from the likes of that particular flump of, you know, that womp blockage right there, which... I get it because they really want to focusing on getting the stars and stuff like that, but either way though, keep this in mind though, this place is filled to the brim with a lot of boost to steal suds and stuff. Alright, so it's now in daytime, so let's see what really happens as soon as we're able to get ourselves our triple dice ready for certain stimulations. So,
River Raiders, so it seems that we keep on playing some of these bonus minigames as far as I'm aware, which is pretty good.
Well, to be more specifically, coin-based minigames, Pinkie Pie.
Oh, right, sorry. I keep thinking about the from the old school days.
But anyways though, but I get the strong sense of feeling in this minigame right here, I think Wario's gonna get the majority of the coins basically, just because, well, you know what it's like with a team of 1 that basically it does have a lot of advantage, whilst compared to the team of 3, has a lot of disadvantage sometimes, so... But regardless, we'll take 13 coins, and Wario got 16 coins, so... Yeah, again, it's so... a lot, so... So I guess there's not much else I can explain about the forms of this entire board itself, because honestly, it's just the fact that, well, every time whenever we're able to actually play online play in terms of Mario Party Superstars, that basically though, this is the only board I replayed the most, just because it's so ridiculously fun to able to play this board.
Yeah, tell me about it.
8, 2, 3, 13, so it's a bit meh for the roll itself, but that's fine I guess.
And we'll go ahead and buy another triple dice, so just in case we can able to, you know, catch up with some more movement and stuff like that.
I think we should probably start saving up some coins so we can able to not only potentially trying to steal some coins from somebody, but also steal a star from somebody, so...
But we'll still see.
And this will be the last time seeing the Koopa Bank space, because otherwise we'll move on to the minigame modes, so... Oh yeah, there's one thing I honestly forgot to mention about, is the fact that in certain... Oh god. Looks like both Wario and Waluigi are... 112 coins!
Jeez, Louise!
Gee, I don't know who's gonna win this though, because you still won't be seeing the CPU matches and stuff like that, sadly, but who's gonna win?
Oh my god! Wario got quite a lot of coins!
224 coins! God, he's a greedy man after all.
Probably he's wants to asking the Nintendo saying that, where's my gosh darn Wario platformer game? After the events of, you know, Wario launched the Shake Dimension on the Wii.
Which, that reminds me is the fact that, relatively speaking though, that, well, it's kind of hard actually to able to predict on anything about 2023. Like, we do know for a fact that, well, let's get to the forms of that another conversation for this point today, that we were supposedly trying to able to mention, more details about that ever since in Woody Woods. That basically though, oh, really? Really, Wario? Although, thankfully though, it's just a little bit backwards, so that should be alright, I guess. Anyway, so we've finally managed able to get ourselves not only 2 games back, but also a new Switch game, which despite the fact that it's actually a port to a Wii U game, which is of course Pikmin 1, Pikmin 2, and Pikmin 3. Although I'll talk more details in a moment, because here we have another new minigame we can play, and this one appears to be Mushroom Mix-Up, based off of Mario Party 1, due to the forms of the atmosphere, as well as the forms that, you know, we actually ended up in the water instead of the lava, because there was also the Mario Party 2 equivalent on this type of minigame called Hexagon Heat, but of course that minigame did manage to brought back in the top 100, so...
In this case though, Mushroom Mix-Up is actually a pretty cool minigame. Like, as a result,
all you have to do is basically you have to be the last man standing who's the winner, and obviously you need to pay attention to where the toad sign is actually built up to be. And what makes this minigame a little bit more easier is the fact that in comparison to the original counterpart, is that much like the top 100 version of Hexagon Heat, where basically though, it does actually gives us some bit of different symbols alongside with some different shapes as well, to make things a little bit more easier for you if you really want to win a minigame like this, so...
Especially noticeable because, well, relatively speaking though, in the top 100 version though, despite the fact that we somehow lost sometimes,
just because of that AI is actually gonna get a little bit aggressive at points, so... But we'll take third anyway, so...
Yeah, anyway, in the top 100 version of Hexagon Heat, basically though, it gets like just a very simple singular shape in each hexagon.
And as far as I'm aware, they do offer us some different patterns with all that mushroom platforms you can able to interact with, so... Yeah, it seems a little bit more cooler as far as this is concerned, and also just, well... As we said, make things a lot more easy for ourselves, if we're able to actually experiencing with that, so... We're also able to buy, another triple, dice. I think this will be the last time we'll buy, the triple dice, just because, well... Oh, we're literally so close to able to land on a bank space. And also, we were so close to get the star, but I get the strong sense of feeling that Waluigi might use the trump call again, so... But that's fine, because until the next turn, we can probably able to actually just do, like... Well, go for that Wump as we expected, and able to meet up with not one, but two boos. So, now as far as for that other boo down there, with all that, you know, requires the skeleton key, I think we should probably skip that, just because, well, it only activates during the, daytime, so, yeah, it makes it a little bit obvious for the sake of, like, well, how this board actually plays out to be, so...
Oh yeah, on the subject of this though, I think Luigi just somehow uses the golden pipe after all, so...
Yeah, because he's pretty obvious about the fact that, as you can tell, that not only he's trying to able to now get onto 2 stars, but also that he got himself a price cut. So in this case, he's paid for 10 coins, so... Lucky for his part right here, so...
Okay, so let's see what the next star space is gonna be located.
And it's gonna be almost right near the beginning of the board. So, who's gonna be the closest? Oh, between Waluigi and Wario. Both of these players are actually getting very close towards each other when it comes to, like, competitive side of things, whoever makes the star space first.
And it looks like Luigi lands on the Bowser space as well, so it looks like he's probably gonna go for...
Oh, ouch.
That really does hurt though.
Well, nowhere near as, like, painful as lost half of your coins, because otherwise, much like the mini-stars in both Mario Party 9 and 10, basically though is the fact that that might be seems a little bit more of a close call situation or somewhat. And gee, Wario just somehow lands on the red space, huh?
That seems very unlikely on his part.
And here we go on to another new minigame, which appears to be Rocky Road, and this is based off from Mario Party 6, and this minigame is pretty good, cool though. It's the fact that all you have to do in this minigame is to clear out all these boulders before you actually progress, and sometimes you're able to stumble across 2 boulders, and other times you stumble across 3 boulders, and even some singular giant boulder at the end, so... And I get the feeling kick might actually be the best strategy for this minigame sometimes though, because it deals a lot of damage to the actual boulder itself, so...
Yeah, much like the forms of how it does in the original counterparts, that might be saying something, so...
Alright, so let's see if we can able to actually just to like, come on Waluigi, you can just do better than that.
Although sometimes that the AI can be sometimes feels a bit too stubborn sometimes, that he obviously trying to able to punch us by complete accident,
Or trying to kick us by complete accident, so
yeah, that happens sometimes, so...
Alright, I'm not doing too bad, all things considered.
Even though, mind you, that both Wario and Waluigi, or no, Wario and Luigi rather, that they almost gone pretty close towards the very end, but regardless, we made it still.
And somehow both Luigi and Wario has come to a halt with that ginormous boulder.
And of course, much like the top 100 version of this minigame, that basically Toad is a driver,
And the Toadette character is actually part of a passenger, so... Yeah, which, as a result, that's the reason why the Shy Guys have now been replaced by Toad and Toadette. So, I guess that's fine, I guess. But either way, though, it's just about the fact that, okay, that's fine, we'll take a 3, because not only we can able to finally pay coins by a Womp. Oh, and by the way, those Womps, by the way, much like in the forms of how it does in the original version of the board, alongside with, you know, DK's Jungle Adventure, and, I think that's about it, basically. Where basically you still need to pay coins in order able to actually, like, you know, go for that particular spot. So, oh, nice. I think Waluigi might able to land on that happening space, or the event space, rather.
so that way, until specifically in the final turn, that basically we can able to steal coins and a star at the same time.
But God knows, Pinkie Pie, depending on the forms of our, you know, amazing triple dice rolls and stuff like that will come into play, and I don't think we can probably make it to that star space up there, just because that Womp on the top left corner, that it somehow becomes blockable, so...
Luigi gets a 9, so...
And he buys himself the another triple dice, so... Fair enough on his part. And he's gonna get himself another chunk. Oh, no, wait, sorry. Double dice. I wasn't paying attention to it at all, just because I felt a little bit daydreaming all of a sudden, because, wow, I just have no idea why.
Oh, jeez, Wario's gonna bet on
94 coins he's betting on.
And it looks like Luigi has none of his coins at all.
Just none of his coins. Who's gonna win this time?
Oh my god!
I'm just totally speechless right now. I'm literally just speechless right now. Wario is a greedy man this whole time.
Well, I'm wondering about the fact that until the next turn, we can probably expect that we will steal some coins from this greedy man.
Yeah, we can pretty much expect it for this point, huh?
Seriously, it's like the equivalent to Mr. Krabs and Scrooge McDuck.
Well, tell me about it, Pinkie Pie. Tell me about it. Alright, later, Skater. I wonder if we can able to get a new record on this time, but I highly doubt it, but either way though, we shall see.
Looks like the bound Pac-Man has actually got himself his nice concentration there.
Oh, but we somehow got a new record. Not much though, but just a tiny bit.
A new record.
A new record indeed.
Alright guys, on to the final turn as we go along, and since this is still at nighttime after all, in fact maybe we should probably end the board off as in daytime variation of this board, or nighttime rather, just because, let's face it, the atmosphere looks pretty nice with all that nighttime in mind, so... 10, 8, and 2. 20 to end things off.
So let's go ahead and start stealing some coins to that greedy man here.
Yeah, because look how much ridiculous amount of coins he's got.
Let's say about 300 plus. I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, tell me about it. And also, we're also able to steal a star from, let's say Luigi, because he was actually in second place.
Although, despite the fact that Wario might actually be on second place right now, just because, you know, still, his coins, it's too much.
So we're now on to 11 stars. That's also insane too.
Yeah, there's no way we can get that star space because, you know, that Womp is frozen solid, so...
That should be alright, I guess. And we'll end things off with a lucky space just to receive only coins. So, only 7 specifically, so...
That's fine.
Alright then, Waluigi, what are you gonna do now? He got himself a 6, and you got yourself a lucky space.
And he receives 15 coins.
Alright, Luigi, what are you gonna do? You got a 10 to end things off. And I don't think he's probably gonna get that star just because, well, his coins has been completely gone after that duel minigame. I mean, seriously, that's insane. Luigi must have felt very unlucky on his part. I mean, still.
And Wario's gonna end things off with using the custom dice block for aiming for a 7.
Or exponentially, he just ignores the star space completely for that Mr. Right travel and everything.
I'm guessing he wants some more money after all.
Alright, on to the final minigame in the actual regular board gameplay in Mario Party Superstars. And to end things off, we hit on to what goes up.
Start.
Let's see how this goes, eh?
Oh, jeez. But yeah, there's not much else I can say, honestly, guys. It's just the fact that I think we've already explained quite enough of those. Oh yeah, let's talk about the influence of both Pikmin 1, 2, and 3 situation. We finally managed to get ourselves the Wii version of Pikmin 1 and 2 again, just because I feel like we can able to give those games a second chance. And on top of that, we finally managed to able to get ourselves Pikmin 3 back. Well, technically speaking, we actually got ourselves the port of Pikmin 3, known as Pikmin 3 Deluxe for the Nintendo Switch. The only reason being because obviously we can no longer get the DLC stuff on the Wii U, but that's perfectly fine because obviously though the Switch version does have DLC already included, so I'm perfectly fine with this. And thus not to mention though that we are pretty much excited for Pikmin 4 now, just because the visuals look amazing by the way, for Pikmin 4 anyway. So in this case though, we still need to wait until next year though. So, we shall see.
Oh wow, looks like we got the Bowser Space bonus, and same applies to Luigi and Waluigi.
And I could imagine if Wario lands on it though, basically though, no one else will be able to actually like, receive that bonus star, so... And lastly, the minigame bonus obviously goes to us, because obviously we win certain minigames, and also I realized we've swiped out all of the bonus stars in one specific adventure, so that's pretty fantastic, all things considered.
Yeah, especially noticeable that we got ourselves tons of items that we actually used, specifically with the triple dice set and everything.
Oh gosh, looks like they're about to get chased by that Mr. Right here.
But in the end though, Wario just somehow came in 4th place because he does not receive any stars at all.
So yeah, we win Horrorland, and also we've won every single board in Mario Party Superstars. Well, assuming if DLC will come into play, but unfortunately though, it just doesn't seem to happen sadly, so...
Anyway, so look how amazing this little photo is, that we received 2 stars
from Toadette. And on top of that, Wario being chased by Mr. Right, and Luigi was quite frightening, even though he doesn't got himself the Poltergeist G00. So let's take a picture of this, so we can add it to our Switch album. And look how much ridiculous that the amount of coins Wario's got. 771 coins he's gone through! god, that's way too much. Especially after that, you know, winning so much dual minigames from 2 players. Like, seriously.
And Waluigi's the only one managed to got the hidden block, so that's alright all in all.
And we could have got the shopping star if the shopping star comes into play, and we used 21 items, and we actually got a lot of movements, 341, and Wario could have got the unlucky bonus because he lands on 2 of these red spaces, and not much for the item spaces, and yeah, Waluigi could have got the eventful bonus right here. And on top of all that stuff though, yeah, we somehow landed on, well, we the only one landed on the chance time space on this board, only once though, because of that lucky timing aspect. I just pulled this off.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Not much versus spaces landed on.
But regardless of such though, Luigi is the only one landed on so much Koopa Bank spaces. So, well, only 2 of them specifically, so...
Yep, that's saying something. What a crazy match.
But aside from all that stuff though, Pinkie Pie, pure domination in the entire board. 14 stars we've gone through.
Yeah, that seems over the top with all that star requirements, I guess.
So anyways, let's go ahead and leave and receive some more coins, as well as some stars, and wow, so much coins that we've added to our mushroom bank pot. And in addition to those specific stuff though, we got not 1, but 4 achievements as well. That's incredible.
Yeah, I gotta say.
So in this case though, yeah, pretty much the best board to do this on. Horrorland is the best board you can able to accept this fact. So, anyways, with that being said though, we'll go ahead and end things off this point right here. So join us next weekend for more of Let's Play of Mario Party Superstars. It's the fact that we're about to get to it with the extra modes, ranging from Mount Minigames.
Yep, that seems to get the picture for this point. So we'll see you guys until next weekend.
Later, fellas.
See you guys then.